Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. Today we're going to go ahead and make some pop-up cards. I think because spring is here, I think of green and flowers and how they're just springing up from the ground. So I thought we could make a pop-up card to go along with spring. So you're going to need colored paper. I'm using green and blue with maybe some other colors for flowers. And then, or if you don't have colored paper, get a couple sheets of white paper and I'll show you how to make it out of the white paper and crayons. Okay, so crayons and white paper, and you can also use the crayons on the colored paper. You're going to also need scissors, maybe a pencil, definitely a glue stick. Okay, so let's get started. What we're going to be trying to do is create a pop-up card with a flower on it. See how it pops up? We're going to make one of these. Okay, we can also make a pop-up card. Let's go back to focus. There we go. We can also make a pop-up card with just plain white paper and use our crayons to color it in. Still pops up, and we can actually choose a blue sky in the back on this one. So you choose which one you want. I'm going to do the colored paper first, then I will do the one with the crayon and the white paper. So let's start with, if you don't want to do the one with the colored paper, just fast forward up to the one, the white paper. All right, so that's what we're trying to do. I'm going to move this white paper aside. First thing we need to do is fold both sheets in half. I think you guys call it hamburger, so we don't do it lengthwise. We want to do it, that's hot dog, lengthwise. We want to do it through the width or hamburger. So I'm going to fold this one. And I like to put the corners together and then go through the middle and go side to side. But as long as you stick the corners together, oh, it looks like I might have two pieces. No, just one. Stick the corners together and then slide it on down. That's the way I do it. That way I keep my corners together. We're going to set the blue one aside and we're going to work with the green one first. So first thing we need to do is while it's folded, we're going to use our pencil to remind us where to cut and where to fold. So first thing we're going to do is on this folded side, we're going to pick somewhere close to the middle, but maybe even set your fingers up, and then you're going to draw a line about as long as your finger and a little bit wider for the stem of the flower. We're having a fat stem on our flower, so you can have a big flower on it. So, and then right here, I'm going to spell the word fold. F-O, fold, L-D. So I'm folding right there. So I'm not going to draw a line because I'll be afraid I'll cut it. Can you see that? If you don't want to write it, that's okay too. I just write it to remind myself. Then you're going to open the scissors wide and cut along that line there. Open the scissors wide, cut along that line there. Remember, if I go too fast, you just go ahead and hit pause. Fold it right where I said I was going to fold it. And now I got to open it. I got to make sure I don't open it too hard. I don't want to tear that because the fold wants to stay folded. Now I'm going to poke it through. You might need to watch this twice. Poke it through and then fold it so that that fold comes out and goes the other way. So I'm folding it right where I folded it before. So the paper likes to fold where I folded it before. But now we're folding it a different way. So now when we open it, we have that nice little stem for our flower. So now we got to cut a flower. I just like to free cut mine. You'll see what I mean. Well, I like to cut big dizzy flowers, big fat fluffy flowers, but you can cut a flower that looks like a tulip. You can cut a flower that looks, here, this one here looks like a tulip with the 3 triangles at the top and the round bottom. So feel free to cut your flower any way you want, but I just like to cut kind of like fluffy flower, like it's got a whole bunch of petals. So I just keep going around and around and around till I finally come up and I'm finished. Uh-oh, I keep getting smaller. Better stop. Here we go. That's not too small. Now I'm going to cut a centerpiece for it. So I'm going to use a different color. I like how orange and purple are very contrasting in colors. So I'm going to go ahead and cut a circle. I just move the paper around and keep going around. Keep rolling that paper around. Oop, open my scissors. Let the paper go around in a circle. And then I've got my circle. I'm going to glue that to my orange petals. So I like to do that. Let's make sure it's got enough glue. Put it in the center. And now I've got a big fluffy orange flower with a purple center. Now, I have to make sure it's very, very important that we don't get glue all over this paper. Because if we do, it's going to glue it shut. We don't want to do that. So we want to make sure we only put glue right up at the top of the stem so that our entire flower will cover it. So I'm going to be very careful. I put my finger behind here so I only get on that top part. I don't want to cover the whole stem. If I do that, it will stick the whole flower. Just let it dry if that happens. And then I'm going to, oopsie, whoops, I almost did it backwards. And I'm going to put my flower right up there, covering all of the glue. And then I'm going to fold it down and press my hand on it to make sure it's nice and stuck on there. Open it up. There's my flower. Now I'm going to take that blue sheet that I had folded already, and I'm going to open it up. And now I'm going to go ahead and glue this side, not the inside, but the outside of my green paper. So I like to do the edges nice and even. Up we go, and right up close to that fold, and then maybe a little bit around it. All right, I'm done. I don't want tons of glue. It gets all sticky everywhere. Now I'm going to line it up with the crease in my paper. I don't know if you can see that. I should probably have put a pencil on it so you could see it better in the video, but I line up my creases. I don't want to, and then I'm going to hold this one down for a second, and then I'm just going to close it, because then it finds the right place for my crease to go. And then I just press on it, get that glue to stick. Now I'm going to glue the other side. Remember, if I'm going too fast, just go ahead and hit pause. I'm going to glue this side. We don't want to glue both sides at the same time or the fold doesn't come out in the right place. So we kind of have to do it this way. I've learned by making mistakes that this is the best way to do it. So then I just lay it down and the paper lays flat and I press on it really good. Maybe say some magic words, abracadabra, and let's see if it springs out. Boing! It does. So now we have our flower. All right. You can also cut out clouds, or you can cut out more flowers or grass. You can put stems for your flower. Okay. Little leaves on it like I did on my other one with the paper. So it's up to you how much you decorate it. But I like them plain and simple myself. All right, so that one's done. Now, if you don't have colored paper and you only have white paper, I have 2 sheets of white paper. I'm going to fold them both together and crease them, and then just take one of them and I'm going to color them. I'm going to do blue on top for the sky, and I like to take all the paper off because then I can color faster, because I'm always in a hurry. But you don't have to. You could color your clouds in there, just leave them white. You can put a sun in there, but I'm just going to do a blue sky. There we go. You could even put birds in there. Now I like to put a couple of colors on my green, so I'm putting a light green. I don't think it really shows up on there, so I use the dark green. That shows up. And I like to put a little extra green right in the middle where I'm going to cut that flower stem. There we go. All right, now fold it up. Now it doesn't matter which side you have, because we're going to cut it exactly the same as we did with the colored paper. We're going to draw a line about a finger length long, in a little bit off to the middle. Let's draw it straight down. Draw another one, maybe 2 or 3 fingers away. Draw it down, and then I can spell fold right up here. F-O-L-D. All right, I don't want to draw too dark. I don't want it showing through. It's all right, looks good. So then I'm going to open my scissors wide, make my straight cut, open my scissors wide, make my straight cut, and then I've got to fold it. Remember, if I'm going too fast, just hit pause and catch up. Fold it, then I turn it and open it, and now I've got to pop out my stem. So I got to pop that out that way, and that fold's going to go the other direction now. So I pull it out a little bit, crease that, so now it goes the other direction. Now I have to make sure that if I draw a flower, I glue it on the green stem, right? So keep my sky in the air here. I'm going to color. I've got a red crayon here. I'm going to color a spot on my, I like to color before I cut because it's just easier, because if you've got to cut a tiny piece, it's harder to color that. So I kind of swirl around the same way I do when I make the cut. But I'm going to put my center on now because it's easier. I've got a red flower with a purple center. And now I'm going to make the same silly cuts I did on the other one, kind of just making like a little cloud. Turn the paper, go around, Doesn't have to be perfect. I like how flowers are all whichever way they want to be. And this one's fluffier. Oh, I like that one. Came out really good. Okay, now I have to make sure I only put glue up here. I don't want to make a mess and have my flowers, my whole card close up on me. So I'm going to make sure I put the glue up at the top. Don't get it on the blue. Don't get the glue on the blue. All right, I'm going to go ahead and glue that up there. Center it up. Mash it down. Maybe say a magic word. There we go. Oh, there it is. Look at that, my flower. And if you want to decorate, I'm going to go ahead and put it into the extra piece of paper that I had. It's folded, and we work it the same way we did with the colored paper. We go ahead and put it all the way around the edges. Can't see on the white paper very well. Don't put too much glue. We don't want a sticky mess. We just want to get it to stick to the paper, not all over our fingers. Put the edge of the fold into the other fold, right up to the edge. It's okay if you miss a little bit. It'll fix itself when you just lay it over. Okay? We want to let it lay into the fold. Press it down, magic word, flip it over. Let's glue this side. Make sure we don't get it on anywhere in there, only on the folded piece. There we go. Get it all the way on. Maybe a little extra there. And fold this over again. Remember, it's best to fold it that way and glue it this way. I've tried it the other way. It doesn't fold very well. Sometimes the creases get all in line. So let's see what we got. Yes, we got it. Look at that flower. So you could put clouds in the sky. You could put a sun in the sky. You could put birds in the sky. You could put more flowers over here. You could put a bunny on the ground. You could put a pond right there. So there's lots of things you could do. You can do it with cut paper, or you can do it with crayons. Enjoy. Have a good spring break.